Alright, so I come down here on the counter. Tactical Doodle is still lusting after an H&K USP 45 compact equipped with an AWC suppressor. You dig that, don't you?
I do.
I am going to stick with my criticisms on the H&K. I know you guys, some of y'all are fans out there. Keep in mind I have many thousands of rounds through H&K pistols, mostly through duty, my duties. And I'll say, Tactical Doodle off camera was asking me, well, what's your criticisms on it? It's the same thing I said on my tabletop. You can look it up. Nothing's changed. I don't like the magazine release. It's different than every other magazine release like Glock, SIG, FN, you name it. They're changing the world. It's like Sony trying to change the world with Betamax. Why put your magazine release there? I just don't
you
like
push
it.
Down instead of ammo.
Well, the problem is you have a flared out bottom of the trigger guard here. So under stress, you can have your thumb come too far forward, and you can actually think this portion here is your mag release. I know because I've done it. Actually, I'm to the point now where I just use my index finger of my primary hand to actuate the mag release. That works good. Let's see what else I don't like. I don't like the hump in the trigger guard. Hate that. Chamber check that for me real quick.
Waiting on it.
Okay. Safety off. Dry fire safe direction. Okay, now hold that. Now pull that trigger. I'm going to hold the hammer down and look at the flex in the trigger. Do it so that people can see though. Okay, now do it. See that trigger? How it flexes so much?
Yeah.
That's a polymer trigger, and that's just a little thing. I think I mentioned that in the tabletop. I don't like that. Bugs me. And then I don't think it's that light. I don't think it's that compact either. There's other guns like this Glock 27, Glock 26, which are much more compact, lightweight, have the same firepower. So all those things. It's still a good gun. I'm not saying it isn't. But it's, I just have other preferences. And I have seen them lately in my own duty use jam on me in the rain. That's right. Had a 165 grain gold dot 40s jam on me twice. No joke. So you asked, I'll tell you. Tabletop on that gun has not changed. And guys say, why don't you review the full size H&K? It's the same gun. I mean, dimensionally it's slightly different, but basically the same gun. Here's some other bolt guns here. There's Howas on the bottom. I don't know too much about that. And this various Remingtons. You know what gun I like that I think is high value and works great are Savages. Savages are great guns, and they won't break the bank, and they're accurate. There's one right there. That one's a little more expensive than I remember. Let's come around behind the counter. $531 for that one. I'm going to be running out of time here, Dudicle. Let's see. Price isn't that great on it. Let's see what this one is. $552. That's a 300 Win Mag Savage. I love the Accu trigger on Savages though. I have a 17 HMR Savage. Has that same trigger. Outstanding. Could do without that bright blue finish. I'd probably Duracoat the crap out of this gun if I owned it. Disadvantage on some Savage designs. This one has a detachable magazine, it looks like. But the 110 FP I think is blind. Here we go. This is more of the price I'm thinking. Here's one in $270, and it doesn't have a 4-plate or magazine. It's just a blind box magazine you have to load, unload from the top. That's the Stevens variety right there. But look at that price. I mean, that's a decent price, and it will probably go down a little bit from there. Up there's I'm not sure what caliber that is. That's a 700 SPS Varmint, 300 Winchester short mag. This gun right here. I'm not super fond of this particular stock. This one was ventilated. It has the rubber inserts. I know I said on the XTR I kind of liked it. With this gun I like the OD on it. That's basically what I meant on that one. Not too bad. Hey, there's part 1, Impact. I don't even know if there'll be a part 2. We'll have to see if there's more to see. Oh, yeah, there is. We got some AR-15s in stock over here. Maybe do some jibber-jabbering. More guns, guns, guns. Impact guns. Nothing fancy, doing a store review, June 2009. Hey, I kind of misspoke. I think I was saying this is a 500. That's a 590 is the military spec. Mossberg shotgun. It's got the bayonet lug on it. Not a bad gun. And what I was saying is this one's a 500 down here. I'd definitely go with a 590 if I got one. And I think this is just like a standoff device, that muzzle thing. Some of you guys may be wondering what that was. Maybe does some compensation. I don't know if shotguns that really need compensation. It's more of a recoil issue than a muzzle rise issue. And I guess you have a way to attach lights on there. I would never use that. But okay. Here's some AKs, different styles, a lot more than before. There's an Arsenal on top, $1,350. And I'd have to look at all the receiver stamps to tell you what all these are, to be exact. There's a Century Arms one. Most of these are 7.62 by 39. There's a Romanian paratrooper types one, IOI, $800. Century Arms. Pretty good selection, actually. It's Galil. It's pretty cool. I think Galils are good guns. I think we've seen this before. It was on the rack when we came back before. They're just heavy. I think I said that before. Romanian AKs, several varieties right here. Armory USA IOI. I can't speak. IOI again. Sega. You can see the prices as we go. There's that PS90 again. Some Mini 14s. Yeah, we've come here before. I still think the Mini 14 is a great home defense tactical carbine, all-around carbine. I think slammed into a Tapco Intrafusion stock, it'll have a lot more utility because you can mount a light on it easily. You can also mount a polymer light rail on the side of this stock. You'll see me do that probably in later days. I really love the finish on the R15s, the Remington ARs, made by Bushy. Maybe this is a Bushy. Looks just like an R15. Yeah, this is a Bushmaster version. Bushmaster makes them for Remington, so it's basically the same gun. Love the diameter of this barrel. See how it's medium thickness, and as it goes under that handguard, widens out, probably to like a 0.9 diameter. Yeah, that's expensive. I do love that finish. Isn't that good looking? Even in a desert environment, that would really break up the pattern of your AR. We have a 50 Beowulf there. I would probably never need that. There's a Rock River Arms Varmint A4. I think Rock River AR-15s are excellent. There's a lot of guys that will say, hey, it's not a mil-spec AR-15 and it lacks a lot of the mil-spec features. Here's some more Rock Rivers down here. I understand that. I think sometimes, actually that's a DPMS. There's a Rock River Tactical Car A4. Everybody I've known that have shot Rock Rivers though like them, and I've known, me included, I've put a lot of rounds through mine. I have a Rock River, and it just lasts. You know, no, it's not 100% mil spec. Like the safety lever on the other side is not mil spec, but it lasts. And I say buy your AR-15 if it's not mil spec. You know, shoot the crap out of it and just have some mil spec parts on hand. If you need to later, you can always sub those in. I will do a series of AR-15 vids of just my own takes on accessories and the parts inside and all over the AR-15 to be exact. It'll be controversial, I'm no doubt, because guys will differ. But, you know, I have a lot of requests for it and I need to do it. It's a big project, though, and it'll take me a little while to get around to it. I've got so many other things that we're trying to do in TMP. Good selection, though. Rock River, great brand. I like them. DPMS, I'm not a super fan of DPMS AR-15s because I have had some associates that have had them and reported some problems with them, reliability type, so I probably wouldn't get that. M&P 15 by Smith, great gun. I wouldn't hesitate to get that at all. You know, that one's an M4 profile barrel. And guys, be careful when you buy an M4 profile because it looks like it's really thick. Sorry, let me come up like this. It's really thick right here, and then it tapers down, you know, and then, but under the handguard it gets skinnier still for the attachment accommodation of an M203, which probably will never be used by you. So now you have a barrel that's not full thickness, and yet that's the most popular profile barrel that's being sold right now, M4 profile. I'd rather have this. I'd rather have a full thickness. I could easily thread that, cut off a couple inches of that. I'd go to adcofirearms.com, have them do it for me. Be a great way to go. Good AR-15 selection for what's been going on. What's this one? That's an M&P railed version. Oddly, one with a plain muzzle. There's your model. It's your stock number. 811004 1500. That's expensive. Do you like that one? Okay. That's probably, you know, that's the same thing as a Steyr AUG. That's the Microtech version of it. $2,000. And I think we talked about this last store visit. I'm just not a big bullpup fan. I like how compact and how fast they are. I do love all of that. However, I'm not super fond of the trigger pulls on them. All the trigger pulls on bullpups are long and creepy. How do you like that trigger pull? Wah, wah, wah. Not so great. What's up with the Wizard of Oz flash suppressor up there? What's with these circles right here? That's just weird. I don't know. Some guys will like that. Let's go look at the pistols. What pistols were you looking at? Oh, let me be fair to this H&K, by the way. I don't mean to condemn the H&K design. It's a great gun still. I think when you equip it, if you go with like that, what's it called, the LEM module on it, it's kind of a pseudo double action only trigger. I don't like that. I like this one much better. This is a standard single to double action conventional trigger with a hammer drop capability. This is previously safety checked, kind of like so. I like this setup a lot better. I'm more excited about an H&K USP with this trigger module in it than I am with a limb. That's just me. You know, same criticism stay for all the other things I said. Another great gun here, the FNP 40. Man, that's a good gun. It's hard to find in Coyote Brown. By the way, that's a very attractive color. You guys know I'm a sucker for Desert Tan and Coyote Brown. Always have been. That's a great gun, though. This FNP. Yeah, you've been seeing us shoot it out in the desert, the FNP 9. The Nothing Fancy running guns. You're going to see it a lot more. Great gun. I said that like 15 times. Great gun.
You did say great gun.
Then what do we got? This whole bevy of Glocks. Done lots of Glock talks. You know, it's funny in the Nothing Fancy project, everyone thought that I was so myopic on Glock. It's like, yeah, he's a Glock fan. Well, just because Glocks are so good, they're affordable and they get so many things right in the weight, size, reliability, durability. You know, in the tried and proven category, it's hard to beat a Glock. To say anything otherwise, to me, is disingenuous, you know, and I don't like that. You know, it's not right. It still is a standard of measure. The Glock 17, for me, is still a standard of measure. You know, does that mean that it's better, you know, hands down favorite of an H&K, for instance, or an FMP? Well, you know, the second kind of cool comes into play there. You know, what turns you on? What do you like? Is it the Smith & Wesson M&P, which also is an outstanding gun? You know, I really like that M&P, and you're going to see me redo my review on it. In a lot of ways, it matches or beats the Glock, depending on the category. No, so I am not myopic Glock. I am a Glock fan because of what it does, and the value, and the durability, and all those things. And if anything unseats the Glock, you know, maybe it's the M&P, maybe it's the FMP series, then guess what? I'm a fan of those designs too. Be open-minded in your gear preferences. And just because you bought something, you know, I've said this before in lots of different ways, you know, don't be so, you know, immature that you cannot see the features and benefits of other designs. XDs, I get a lot of people saying, hey, you got to redo your review on the XD. I will. I'll do an XDM sometime. I remain critical of the high bore axis in comparison to other designs like the Glock, like the M&P, and maybe even the FMP designs. I think the XD is still a higher bore axis, and it's also a heavier gun. Here we have a polymer frame gun that's around 30 ounces. So there's a Doodle's holding up an XD for me right here. What cal is that? That looks like a 45. So 460 for a 45. That's actually a pretty good buy.
13 rounds of 45.
13 rounds of 45. And by the way, Doodle is a big 45 fan. Am I correct? So he represents the 1911 45 contingent within TMP. You'll see him continue to do so until he goes off to medical school or wherever he's going. See, XD is a good gun. It's accurate. It's got a great trigger. It's reliable. I can get past the grip safety, which I think is extraneous. You don't need a grip safety on that. You know, you don't need a grip safety on a Glock, do you? I don't think so. So, decent gun. Just, you know, there's others I prefer over it. You know, I can't apologize for that. There's a nice SIG P220. That's a reference 45 if I've ever seen one. If you are a 45 guy and you love 45s, semi-auto pistols I'm talking, you really should have a P220. You really should. I mean, does it get any better for double, you know, SA to double A action? Can't speak. Great gun. Reference gun. Then we get into the CZs. Lots of requests lately of guys that want me to review the CZs. I think they're kind of technologically old in a lot of ways. They were the heyday, in their heyday in the 1980s, and they were very cutting edge. And I'm just talking the CZ75. There's so many variants now from CZ, it's hard to keep track of them all. It's still an outstanding gun. It's a great IPSC gun, competition gun, because it's so durable, steel frame, great trigger, very accurate, very heavy too. you know, around 35 ounces or so for the steel frame CZs. Great gun. I mean, and that grip is still very ergonomic. My mouth is going dry, dude. I need to get a drink. Blabbering so much. Stogers. There's some Charles. I don't even know what that gun is. That's a goofy looking gun. There's the FN57, previously reviewed. SR9s. There. Tactical Solutions 1911-22 conversion. Look at the price. Ouch. $500 for that. I would much prefer that Kimber. That Kimber conversion. Yeah, it's like, how much is that? Like 200, 285?
I paid 300.
So still expensive, but this is more expensive still. Some big old revolvers down here. Some big Smiths. We're going to see more revolver reviews and more revolver shooting of some selected varieties in the Nut and Fancy project. And I'm very much warming up to some models of revolvers. They're great shooters. They're fun to shoot. They're accurate. There's some, I think these are some used guns I have. I'm not going to say too much about these. Some guys have asked me about this. I tried to get through this review. That's a Steyr M9 for $430 here at Impact. I do not like it. I thought I would like it a lot more. It sure looks cool, doesn't it? And yet when you hold it, you'll find that it's very bulky. It's very wide. It's not a very convenient gun. It's not convenient, but it's not very trim. I was disappointed in it. Have not fired it, though. I haven't fired it. Some other used one. Let's go take a look at the knife counter. See what's going on over here. I'm surprised at how their selection here in this store is for at least Colt steel blades. Pretty good. Huge selection of Voyager knives. Serrated, plain edge. Nice. Love the Voyager series. High value, fast, lightweight. There's some spike versions. There's the Black Sable. That's a very one I reviewed too, right there. SRK, I think that's an excellent knife, soldier knife. We talked about those Lone Wolf knives previously in the store visit. Oh, there's a 10700 Nagara. Love that knife. Good knife. There's a Pardue Axis for $90. That's a nice little blade. There's that out the front Benchmade 890 Torrent. Reviewed. Love it. Some Sig Tacs. A lot of these you've seen before, so I'll go kind of quick. There you go. If you haven't, you can look up the previous store visit. Some K-bars. Decent. And then, oh, let me show you guys this. When we came to this wall last time, maybe last year, they had a selection of TAC Force brand vests. Those are gone. They have been replaced with this brand, and I do not recommend this brand. This is Condor. CondorOutdoor.com is the website. When I hold this vest and I look at it, I am very much unimpressed. I don't like the fit and finish. I don't like the quality of materials. They use a very loose mesh, and then they use that cheesy vinyl-backed nylon. Don't like it. Look at the pistol holster, how it's like supposedly MOLLE attached. See how much it comes out? It kind of falls out from the vest. Those cross draws we show from TAC Force, they're sewed right in there, and they don't fall out at all. They stay in them. Good colorations. The price is decent for $60. Beats nothing, but I much prefer a TAC Force over that. And speaking of TAC Force, here's the brand right there. I like them. And hopefully they don't raise their prices. You know, a lot of these tactical nylon places, as the years go by, they get kind of stuck on themselves and they start cranking their prices up. Next thing you know, they're not high value options anymore. Doodle, what else you want to talk about, dude? I'm about to spoke out. Some gun cases here. Anyways, Tactical Doodle, Nut and Fancy at Impact Guns. Kind of showed you some cool things. Their inventory has come up a little bit. And prices, they're still high. Ammo especially is very expensive. You know, will it come down as time goes on? I don't know. Hope so. There you go. Thank you again, Impact. We'll come back again and check the inventory as it changes over time. By the way, this is Counter Health. What's your name, Jess? Jessica. Say hi to Jessica. Jessica, you're going to have a lot of fans now.
I do.
Want to talk to you. So anyways, thanks, Jessica, for having us here at the store. Signing off, Nut and Fancy and Doodle. See ya!